All right, we are back with generative fill in Photoshop beta. Um, I'm going to let it do some work for me. Some of these I haven't finished before, some of them I finished, but maybe I need to alter them because they want them altered. This picture, say they come back and they said, we don't like the background. We want something else here. Maybe we want curtains or something. Let's see what happens. Now, as far as selecting it, it didn't do a good job of that, but that has nothing to do with beta. We already know that the selection tool is horrible. And if you are going to use it, it will not save you any time because you will spend all your time fixing it. Let's see if we can get a background. What do you say? Does it even matter? Should we even? I'm not even going to put it in a color. I just want to see how smart this is. And let's just hit generate and see what we get. The generate image will remove because they violate user guidelines. I'd like to know what the user guidelines are because so far they're nonsense. All right, this is, I mean, it's all right. If I was on a solid background where I could kind of mute it more. But here's the problem, right? When you look at my image, see the wall in the background? Come totally out of focus. They slap a curtain in there, it's not out of focus. The other problem is, which AI just apparently can't do, this background is about 5 or 6 feet away from her. Do they put the curtain 5 or 6 feet behind her? No, they practically have her right against it. But if you're going to have her right against it, is she portraying any shadows on it? No. So it just comes off kind of fakey. They gave me two options. Let's see what the other one is. I mean, I see it looks like it found something that matches the color, but yeah, I would not use any of these. It's not working. Back it up. I want her to be like in the middle of a room with curtains way in the back, and that's just not even the right thing. So compared to what I had, which was just a wall, I can't use that. All right, so the other thing is most people are like, hey, remove my tattoo. Here she is. She wants a tattoo. I don't even know if I put in something, it'll probably just flag it, but and say no, you can't have that because it's copyright or whatever. I mean, so let's see. She wants a dragon tattoo right there on her chest. I mean, at least look faded. I mean, you see what a job this is? She's not even that sharp. I mean, do I have to put faded, realistic tat? Let's try that. Uh, Faded, realistic. Let's try Viking tattoo. It has nothing to do with putting a tattoo on somebody. I'm trying to see how their stock images and the art and stuff they're pulling in, how it adapts to the photo that is already taken. Okay. You're not going to fool anybody with it. I don't even know what the hell that is. I mean, you really just have to go, that'll work. Just please don't show it on anything with high def. All right, let's say red dress. Would that do anything as far as changing the color, or are we just adding goofy backgrounds and dragon tattoos? I mean, AI to me is not supposed to help you cheat. It's supposed to help you make your work faster. What? Is this, am I doing it wrong? Cool, Santa Claus. All right. That just gives me all kinds of neat ideas. All right. If I leave the face and everything selected and just say I want to change the color or the clothes, turtle neck sweater. I wonder if all the people paid by Photoshop or Adobe or just Photoshop worshippers that have put up these videos praising this. I wonder how many edits they had to do to actually just find the stuff, or if they were given approved images that would just and told what to do. Is it because I forgot to select her or take out her face? Okay, even if you were just there's your new stock models. There you go. You don't even have to hire models anymore. Now you get zombies. All right. Your choice of weird blurry ladies. What is going on here? Even if you were just like give me a model. That's not good. Now this is against green screen, so it should be super easy, right? You would think. I mean, I already see that the selection tools already just decided you don't get this. And I'm not fixing it. It's not my job to try to use automatic AI Adobe tools and then spend forever fixing them. She's fighting aliens on a beach, thunderstorm beach, because we want like some dark clouds or something. What do you think? What do you think our chances are? Well, that looks like somebody that just started using Photoshop. Let's see what it did with the hair and everything else. Oh, it actually went through and did get this. I'm surprised. That wasn't selected, but I guess it was smart enough to figure that one out. The hair here, it just said, yeah, we're not going to bother with that by hair. Or maybe it just takes care of flyaways for you. Maybe it is just that smart. Destroyed city. How's that? That sound movie poster enough? See, the problem is if you don't know what you want, you're going to end up spending a lot of time trying things and then going, oh, well, that's no. Nope, 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 nope. How do you know where it's getting the green from? I guess because it's seeing the green screen that it's just putting green in every picture. But nope. Haunted mansion. How about that one? Let's just throw anything. And if you notice, again, it's putting everything right up to the top. You know why I think it's doing that? Is because my images are so high res that it's just stretch. I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. Maybe their image is wide and they're just trying to make it. And I told you everything would be green because of the green screen. Let's say blue paper background. I am trying to make this as simple as it can be. Just give me a black background. Say this is a clothing site and I either want a white or a black background to show off products or something. Because I'm sure that's what everybody's thinking is companies can just go slap, well, I asked for black background and it just gave me pretty much the background. I mean, it cleaned up the wrinkles. Okay, next. Are you gonna? No. Well, the one time they actually got something that doesn't look too horrible, the hair and everything does. And then, of course, it just goes right back to green. So if I took this and change the hue a little bit. I kind of want to, if I want to stick with anything, it would be that red. So say I did something like that. Well, I mean, you can see what it's doing, right? So it left in like parts of the hair. It's not a perfect cutout when it puts this over the top. So it's kind of like just masking on top of your image, but that's a mess. And honestly, to just create a background like this with just clouds or whatever, or fractal noise. I mean, there's literally a clouds in here. You can go over here and just say render clouds and get that same thing without having to have wasted all your time on this. All right, so here's a simple picture. I'm not going to even bother trying to remove her from the background because I know it'll just giggle at me and say that was wishful thinking. But let's just say if I wanted to, I don't know, add some flowers around here. Something to give it a little bit more color. I don't know crap about flowers, so I don't know what to put except for flowers. But you can see this image is kind of faded. It's not very saturated. So I want to see if it matches the style. If it gets the depth, you can see that uh, over here, it's in focus like she is, but up front, it's out of focus. So let's see if that, I mean, it put them out of focus, but it didn't bother to put anything anywhere else I wanted. Um, I mean, I was expecting them to be smaller. I don't know how to fix that. I like the fact that it has some stuff in the foreground. I mean, whenever I do, I don't know why it did this. If you weren't going to put my flowers there, you should have just left that piece there because I didn't mind that. And I don't know if the purple goes with anything. But whenever I do composite stuff, to make somebody see how she's like in the middle of the picture because you see the background's out of focus and she's in focus and there's a foreground. So I always try to have something in my, if I can, in my composites that would add that to it. But yeah, that didn't cut it. Let's try that again. Maybe if I go smaller, I guess. I want some flowers there. I want some flowers here. Maybe I think if you're, it sees how big your selection is. And then makes it as big as your selection. Just to see. Okay, it added Martian pancakes. A fawn. Sleeping. Wearing headphones, I should say, just to see what it does. All right. Okay, let's. You see the quality of this next to. There she is. There's this nightmarish thing here. So, I mean, it's not even doing a good job of just even. I don't know where these stock photos are coming from they're using, but they're garbage. And the reason I say back there is because I want to see if it's extremely out of focus, like that area, or if it just ignores that and just does what it wants. Now, Adobe says that they're not stealing images like all the other sites that should be sued and put out of business. Um, it actually did. So maybe it's just when the kind of stock pictures they're getting are just not as good because you can't just scour the internet for, and not everybody's selling or uploading stock images. But it was actually smart enough to say that is extremely out of focus. So there's your out of focus deer. It's funny because I'm seeing all this stuff online. Well, that one's getting ready to bite her. But I've been seeing all this stuff online where it's like, oh my God, photography designers, everybody's going to lose their job. It's over. Come on now. I'm going to let it do its thing. And then I'll show you what I actually did with this photo because this is one that I actually did. So let's select that subject. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, did it actually add reflections? Because that's kind of cool. I mean, the hair's wrecked. I don't know what this is in the background. See what else we got. I mean, maybe it's just AI is like a newborn baby, and it just has to learn. But so that's what you got with AI. This is what I did. So the difference is, well, one, mine's actually cut out with a pen tool and stuff. But I was able to add little elements to it. I was able to control the amount of focus I wanted. I added a little lens, kind of noise and blurs and things like that and glares. Added a little bit of fog just to kind of fog it up. So I don't know how you would say that. I don't know how you would say, all right, give me the background plate, but now add fog on top, or let's, we'll try it. We'll do this. Let's do fog, dark. See if we can get something a little moodier. It's funny because if I was doing this on one of the other sites, it would probably be stealing my own images off the internet to add them to my images. Well, it went smokier. I don't know what the quality of these background images is doing. Are they getting... The hair is still a mess, of course. So we knew the selection tools were garbage before that ever happened. And her foot's on a wall. So far, I would say that was a better one. I don't like how bright this is, so I would still have to work on it. None of this is going to be like, hit it and forget it. So, glad I did it myself. All right, so let's see what it did. And there's no hair in this at all. It should be super easy. And I'm really trying to like give this an easier time so that way people can't just say, oh, I'm throwing it curveballs. Yeah, you're really just not finding it, are you? What about the fingers? This area here is totally forgotten. Well, let's see what happens. Last time it didn't do it, but then it turned around and let's say something Mandalorian type, so maybe Rocky Canyon fog, maybe. Need to make it look like a virtual set. No. And I don't know how you would, if it's seeing the orange in her face and just saying, oh, he likes orange. Like the depth's not right. I mean, it's just, I don't know how to make it easier. I don't know what the language is to talk it through. Rocky Canyon, foggy path. I mean, how do I say, back the hell up? I don't want her growing out of the rocks. No, she just looks like a giant. I'm not getting what I want. Tropical forest. I mean, this is the biggest reason I don't go on stock sites because I'll sit there forever and be like, no, 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 no. What is that? Is that somebody's laundry hanging? It actually put a plant in front of her foot, so that's kind of smart. That selection's still bogus. Now, here, how do I get rid of that? Can I paint that back in? So I can't paint that back in. Why is that? Why is it ignoring that? I don't understand that. So you can see that it cut out the whole image. There should be, I guess I can't put it back. It's already chopped it, I guess. Is that what it's going on? What happens if I throw away the mask? No, just the mask, you stoop. Well, it just basically put her right in the picture and then there's nothing I can do about it. I didn't see an option to go slapping it on another layer either, so I don't know how that works. All right, anyway, let's see what else there was. If I took this, because this hasn't been color graded yet, my image. So I don't want that being super bright and stuff. If I took it like that, added stuff to it, I still wouldn't like it. Will it let me do it on a blank thing? I mean, the point is to be that, okay, I don't trust your selection tools. They've always been garbage. They'll probably always be garbage. So if I cut it out with a pen tool, can I just say, give me some stock pictures? I mean, at that point, you might as well just have a panel over here that just says search stock photos. No, because here's the problem with that now. Is the problem is it's not even looking at her anymore. So it's not adding a ground. It's not trying to add shadows or anything. And it's just slapping in a random thing. So that doesn't work. And if it makes the selection and does it horribly, you're just stuck. Okay, Allison Tabitha's Jack Sparrow. I noticed the toes are already cut off, so I will not give it a problem for that. It's not bothering over here because, again, the selection tools are not good. And he's supposed to be sitting on a beach. Sitting on beach. I mean, not what I was thinking. Did it actually try to add toes back? One, two, three, four, five. All right, something just alien there for a second. That's not really. That's better. Okay, did we do something with that? Her toes getting hurt. I would just. I mean, if I was going to use something like this, I would just put rocks in front of it. I would never use something like this because, again, selection tools are horrible. This is no good. This is a bunch of noise. All the hair has just been chopped. Okay, number three. I mean, if I was my first year of Photoshop, this is what I expect my stuff to look like. See, in a situation like this, I would take if I couldn't get the hair perfect, I would make sure it was a really like a nice overcast sky, which you usually want anyway. But I would want something that would hide the fact that I couldn't get the hair perfect. I wouldn't. I don't even know what they're doing there. That's just blurring the hell out of it for the hell of it. Is that what's going on? I don't know why they're blurring that all up. Is that just to cover their? Okay, no shadows. I expected the foot to be garbage. That's probably the best one I've seen. But here's the problem, right? I could have just grabbed a photo or a stock photo, cut her out so that it was actually done right. You didn't have gaps like between the arms and stuff. And then went and created these rocks and found a background and done that and made it look a heck of a lot cooler. And then, of course, color grade the whole thing and make it look cool. So, I mean, at least it has her sitting on a rock. It puts something slightly in front of her foot. So it's definitely trying. And wicker chair. Let's see what happens. I did it again, didn't I? I forgot to invert my selection. And they started giving me weird, spooky checks again. Okay, there's your new stock models. Everybody's fired. Cool, you got Skeletor meets the chick from the ring. All right, I guess if you... That's not what I wanted, though. So I don't... Just give me my person back. Uh, I don't... I gotta remember that one, because that scares me every time it happens. Sitting in wicker chair. And I don't even know how sitting in wicker... Well, I guess it's just they took person sitting. Don't do that again. Those people are freaky. I'm going to have nightmares about those weird faces. So besides the like mesh in the fabric, this would not be a hard composition. What's with all the extra black fabric? At least they put it right under her feet, or where she's supposed to be sitting. Um, let's take a closer look. I mean, would that fool somebody? It could be darker. I don't see the lighting getting added, but let's try that one more time. That's not the wicker chair I was thinking of. I was thinking of the one with the back like Morticia sits in. I've already done a picture like this. I've already completed the picture. That's why I wanted to see if I could have done it easier using this tool. So I'll show you the picture I did. That's closer to what I did. I don't know about the goofy background. Let's see. That is her sitting in a bird nest. That is probably the closest. From that to that. That's not bad. The problem here is though is you're just going to keep guessing, right? Because I will show you the chair. It had to be a certain type of chair. This is what I did. So it had to be this kind of thing, the same kind of chair. I also went through and added a pattern on the fabric as well. So, and when I did it, I could take this, add the floor I wanted, add the background I wanted, make sure it's nice and dark because the chair was completely cut out too. What it's doing here, though, is it's giving you this. I don't even know what you're doing or what I hit, but don't do that. You see what it's doing? It's just giving you that whole thing. It's not giving me like the chair. It's not cutting it. It's not cutting her out and then giving me the chair where it needs to be. What are you doing? Okay, I don't even know how that got messed up, but okay. Anyway, um, but if I can't move her, right? Because all it did was just create a mask and then put their stock photo around it. So I would still have to turn around and cut this damn chair out. So what if I wanted, like, hey, you got me the wicker chair or a chair, but now I want her sitting in the middle of a castle or something like that in this chair. So let's sitting in wicker chair in mansion. I can't really do it in pieces like I want. And it sucks too, because that chair might be the closest I've gotten. And now I'm going to lose that chair because it doesn't say, hey, keep the chair, change the background. Where's my other option, right? Now the chair's floating. Now it's the wrong chair. Yeah, there's just no control over it. I was, I don't get it to write out a paragraph of saying, look, I want her in a chair on this. I want it slightly hazy, this or that. There's not even a chair there. I don't know what this background is, but the problem is like I said, all it did was just cut that out. So even if I want to reposition it, forget it, right? Why is it not just cutting her out, slapping her on another layer, and then slapping their background behind the layer? So then at least if I wanted to reposition, I could do it. The other problem is it gave me a chair, but I didn't like the background behind the chair. And I can't do that. I can't switch it up. There's no way to say keep the chair, switch the background from blue to gray to green to anything else. I don't even know what the hell that's doing. Yeah, I don't see how it would make it easier. Wow, that's a nice, huge chair. See what I mean? Even if I like this chair, if it wasn't a certain thing I was going for, I don't want these giant Martian plants in the background. So how do I don't know how to say, keep that chair, give me a different background. And you can see, that's a wicker basket. But you can see that how many times it's taken me to even get a chair I like. So just to get sitting in a chair, wicker chair, the way I want it, to get that and the background and adding this or that in there, I don't see it. I don't know how. No, there's a studio picture. Let me see this one. See? Now that's not bad. That's actually, if you look at it, not too far off from what I had. It's not the same style of chair, but it's a white background. I wanted it dark and spooky like Addams Family, right? So now I have a chair at least. But does that mean I have to go through and cut this whole damn chair out myself? Because I don't want the background. So sucks because it looks like it added shadow and all this stuff. So if I could just, how do I freeze that and say, keep me, I'll keep that chair, put her in a mansion or a castle. And that's the problem is you're going to run into, it's guessing. And then you don't have any control over the guessing. And if it guesses right, you can't pick apart the guessing and say, okay, I like this, but do this, but do this. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I will just stick with myself because the only thing it did is found me a chair. And if you were going to use a stock site or something like that, you could have just went and found a chair and cut it out created the background, and done it all yourself. So the other thing that I just noticed something else too. It gave her an extra shoulder and some weird fabric here. All right, so yeah. And then right here, I wanted this to be I made it a pattern. So let's see if we can make this a pattern too. Knit. It's more like a texture than a pattern, but let's just see. And again, around the fingers and stuff, it's not perfectly selected. To me, none of this stuff works until they actually get the selection thing working. Because even if I get something I like, it's got to get the stuff cut out the way it's supposed to. But that was pretty cool. I mean, it literally went and found something that was the same shape as mine. Doesn't have the same wrinkles in there, but not like that matters. There, it put the sticks in front. So if you look at what we had, we didn't even have sticks in front. Something like that probably would have helped me. I don't know what's going on with this. What this is? Is that somebody else's fingernail? I mean, again, it's just pulling in stock photos, right? So the question is does it make it easier, or do I have to spend time cleaning it up? So is there a way to move this toolbar anywhere else? I don't really see a hand thing. And of course they have pluses and, thumbs up, thumbs down. So you could say, no, that sucks. So let's say, thank you for your feedback to and help us improve. So what does that mean? Are they just getting like a list of people saying sucks good, or does it send a screenshot, or what kind of stuff? Yeah, I don't know. So for now, I will stick doing it myself. But that was my second chance at giving this a chance, and we'll see how it goes in the future. But so far, it wastes more of my time using it than it would help me. And if you don't know what you're doing and you're thinking you can skip hiring a designer, not to mention photographer, because these are my pictures to begin with, and there's a stock library of pictures that somebody else that was a photographer had to take. So saying that photographers lose their job, I don't get that. Because somebody still has to provide the material to be used. But as far as designers, people compositing, things like that, I don't see this taking away their job. So I wouldn't worry about any of that stuff. Now, the other sites that are just flat out stealing pictures off the internet, yeah, they should already be out of business. And I found some of my images being used on there. So all of us should do a class action, and we can all send our licensing fees and whatever the hell else and get them off the web. If Adobe is not using stolen stuff, then, I'm good on them for that. But that just means their stock library needs to really, really grow and have a zillion choices for every possible thing somebody thinks of. So, all right. If you've watched this long, hopefully you got an idea of what you're dealing with here.